Hey, good morning, guys. Um, I'm up in Greenfield, Missouri, um, in my second week with Schneider IC Choice Board, and it seemed to be panning out. I'm learning a little bit and pacing myself. I think it's important that you pace yourself um, with this right here. If you try to rush through it and pile up loads on yourself, it can it can be costly. I think as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, I believe that I'm doing 2 trips at a time and no more, but no less either. So I had a trip planned here where I am right now, Greenfield, Missouri. I'm headed out of here over to Topeka, Kansas. Topeka, Kansas, actually, it's going to take me back to Edwardsville, where I live at. Uh, so that's what I like about this choice board, is that you can pretty much control where you're going, where you're headed, what you want to do. You can control your money. You understand? You can make sure that you making the kind of money that you want. One thing that I had to do was, once I finished orientation out of Green Bay, is my clock was kind of off by me going to do that deadhead out of Green Bay, in which they pay you pretty good to do that. I had to restart my clock, and I wanted to do it at home, so I went ahead and sacrificed a couple of days, restarted my clock at home, and I left out fresh this week, which is has turned out to be beneficial. Sometimes you have to give up a day uh, in order to earn the days that you want, or the better days that you need. And I tell you, it does help to have someone at home that's rooting for you and got your back and got support. I was talking to a friend of mine that I went through class with at Green Bay, Robert, and he's doing the same thing on the IC Choice Board. He was a company driver for Schneider for a while, and he flipped over to the IC Choice Board. He's doing pretty good, and he's got support from his wife, and man, that's valuable. You understand? And for those of you that are not married, you don't have to have support from a wife. You can have support from a family member or a friend. As long as you have some support. And if it's financial support, that's even better. But to have some type of somebody praying for you, or some spiritual support, and someone that maybe have some computer skills. I notice a lot of guys also, and ladies, their husband helped them with the route, as far as the logistics are concerned. And I noticed that a lot of guys, their wives, or whoever it may be, are helping them to handle these runs as far as the logistics are concerned. And that helps, man. I'm telling you, if you got somebody that's at home or riding with you, of course you got to have. You gotta let Schneider know if you got somebody riding with you. They don't too much care about that. They just want to know, so that that insurance can pick up on that. But hey, if you got that support, and you got someone that knows how to navigate through that system, that IC Choice Board, to get you where you're going, and you know what I'm saying, you can't be on the phone while you're driving for Schneider. You got to pull over to talk, but the person that's riding with you can't. So if you got that person over there, secretary or whatever you want to call it, your logistics manager or whatever you want to call it, that helps. So that's considered. I don't know if you guys can handle being in a vehicle for a certain amount of time with certain people. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Me and my ex-wife, I'll say, is we tried it. We've been doing this trucking thing since. Myself since '98, with her since 2001. So she's familiar with the ins and outs of it, but it's hard for us to ride together. I'm just gonna go ahead and admit that it's hard for us to ride together. But for the sake of getting money and trying to get ahead and put our little girl through college, might have to figure something out. You understand? Now we're not together. Something like that. I don't mean to get personal or anything like that, but we're trying to figure out how to get this money. You understand? So, like my man Malcolm said, by any means necessary. So, hey, yeah, that's it, man. Just trying to let you guys know, if you're thinking about doing this Schneider IC Choice Board thing, man, I suggest you try it. You understand? I'm not looking for you know, anything negative out of this thing. I'm an optimist. There's nothing pessimistic about me. At least I try to keep it that way. But so far, man, I have no hangups. It's good. You know, I just done 10 hours and getting ready to go pick up my load down the street here. Head over to Topeka, Kansas City to Evansville. Get to Evansville, I'm going home for 10 hours. Man, what more could you ask for? The company that I was with when I was pulling the reefer for KHA Logistics, man, wonderful guy, man. I have nothing to say bad about Keith. I appreciate that guy. You know, he really helped me out, you know, when I needed him. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, man, you got to go do your own thing. You understand? You got to go and check on some other things. You can't just sit in one nest, you know. You got to jump out of that thing and go ahead and fly. You know what I'm saying? See where your wings take you. And so far, like I said, not going to take too much of your time up for those of you all that are listening. So far, I see choice board. I'm loving it. And then I gave a shout out last time I was on. I gave a shout out last time I was on here to John Keaton down in Green Bay, the teacher down there, the Professor Keaton. And I didn't lie. You know, if I thought that he was garbage, I would have said he was garbage. But I think John is a wonderful person. I think he's a great teacher. And like I said before, no nonsense. But anyway, the reason why I brought that up is because John emailed me this morning, and he told me that someone in his class said, hey, you know, this guy Dave, he mentioned you in his email, and he called and, you know, he emailed me and said, hey, Dave, man, I heard about the email, man, thanks, and this, that, another, man. And, you know, he said a few little things to me that were inspiring, and I really appreciate that, John, again. And the reason why I brought that up is because I'm just going to keep it real. You got to be careful what you get on this social media and say. You understand? I mean, the negative stuff, that if you have negative issues and stuff about people or business, sometimes you got to keep that to yourself because people are watching you. I had no idea that I would receive an email from John about a comment that I made about him, and it was nothing negative. It was positive, you know. And I don't do that. I don't get on social media and say anything negative. If I got some negative to say, or if I think something about you that I don't agree with, then I just keep that to myself, or I'll share it with somebody off of social media. And I don't share things with people unless I know they're gonna pray about it. So I really no need for me to tell you anything if you're not gonna pray with me about it or pray about it, period. So, but anyway, I said that because I see a lot of ranting and raving on here, not Facebook. But I hope haven't been saying Facebook, but Facebook too. But I see a lot of ranting and raving on YouTube about different companies and different people and different things. Hey man, this is a business. You're making this thing personal, and that right there is the end of you. You better believe it. It's the end of you. I don't care. Look, there's a guy, I don't know his name, but he's in the media. He's I don't know what his deal is, but he been saying some real crazy stuff about, I'm not gonna get into that, but he's lost everything. This guy, I can't think of his name right now, but he's losing every day. Someone that sponsors him is taking from him because of something that he said in the media. Can't think of this guy's name. It has something to do with some type of sexual orientation with children or whatever. Listen, man, keep it to yourself. You don't have anything good to say, and I suggest that you don't say nothing. You understand? Don't say nothing. Go and kick a can or something. Whatever it is that can help you. You know, to get these things off your mind. Don't get on this social media thing and throw people under the bus, because normally it'll backfire on you, and you'll find yourself up under those wheels. So anyway, this is King David with King David Trucking. You know, anybody have any questions, you can email me. You know, kingdavidtrucking@yahoo.com, and I'll get back with you and share what I do know. And like I said, whatever I do not know, I'll be glad to point you in the right direction. There's a few guys that on Schneider choice board. These guys, they don't mind giving up information. They want you to succeed. My favorite guy, Jeffrey Like, that crazy guy. I check him out every now and then. Ghost, he's with a different company, Interstate now, but I watch Ghost every now and then, and also Enib, the guy that does the photography and stuff. You know, hey, these guys on here, man, they'll help you. You know, Enib called me back the next day. Hey, man, I try to get in touch with you. Hey, man, here it is. I need to know this. I need to know that, and he helped me out, gave me the information I need, and here I am. I'm on board. I'm on deck. So if you need some information, man, holler at me. Let me know something. If I don't know, man, we got communication here. We get on the three-way and we call whoever we need to call, or I direct you to who you need to talk to, and get in here, man, and get this money, man. It's out here. It's laying on the ground. I call it laying on the ground. That's what I call it. I say it's money laying on the ground and nobody picking it up. Go and look at that load board. That's money laying on the ground. All right, y'all. Deuces.